is part 2. I only have 15 minutes. I'm trying to get these on Instagram, but we'll see what happens. So if you haven't watched part 1, I invite you to go back and watch that. I ended the last video with just saying have fun co-creating, because that's really what we're doing. I could go into so many different layers. I think I'm just going to go into a little bit of flow. So last video was just an energy update, sharing my own personal experience of what I experienced this week. I'll just go into a little flow with this, and then we'll kind of maybe some wordplay. As we increase our aperture, if you will, as we increase our ability to view, as we let more light in, coming into our viewfinder, we find that what shows up in our viewfinder is highlighted. We then charge forward, if you will. We then increase our flora dynamics, plan words. We increase our ability, our flower essence, our ability to see, feel, hear, smell, taste. I mentioned this in the last video. These higher essences and all that is essential for our growth potential, for our growth, and we actualize, bring into our reality and actuality our fuller potential, our fullest potential in this aspect. So I brought up aspect ratio in my last video. I'm bringing up aperture. I'm seeing this viewfinder and more light is coming in. So we're able to slow things down and see things as they speed up. We have more ability to control and at the same time let go of the need to control our reality. For we come into a place and fine tune, we find our tune adjustments. We are stabilizing our ability to fine tune our adjustments and to feel into the refined aspect of our higher tunology. We move into this ability to see the higher gradient, the higher radiance, the higher radiancy that is allowing us to access these higher planes of relativity. All plan words, guys. We then access the higher echelons, if you will, that which is within our ability to equalize the fuller potential of, I'm hearing just a lot of words here, so I'm seeing echelons as a play on words. A shell. I'm hearing a shell of that ocean. I'm seeing the shell of covalent bonds. Electron shells. I'm seeing the higher shell, L, as shell on. Okay. I've got like a few minutes here, so I'm just going to kind of play with this. Because of all the light that is coming into our reality from one perspective, we are able to expand the radiance that emanates out from us, therefore changing the directive, meaning we are able to see more. I'm hearing a state of grace. We're able to see more. We're feeling into this directional pull. We're being pulled towards more of what it is that we are. So I'm seeing that from one perspective, our direction before had been pulled by things that were more distractionary, and I'm being distractive visionary, meaning, and it had to do with time and equations that were set up in inequality. So it was like we were drawn towards these things, but not necessarily what I'm hearing is of our own accordance. So now we've extended the viewfinder into a broader spectrum, and this gives us the ability to see from a broader view and a broader perspective. It changes our perspective availability as well, and this is a play on words. So what I'm seeing is that it changes our ability to perspective availability. Avidability. So I'm seeing a vivid ability. So we're seeing things more colorfully. When I say spectrum, it's a rainbow, okay? And so we might have thought our spectrum was red, but now our spectrum is holding all the colors of the rainbow. And because we're time has sped up, but at the same time, we're able to just slow it down and see all of the colors available to us now. But this is all a play on words as well. We are then able to analyze from one perspective, play on words, and see that which is our own directive, our own ability to direct, and I'm seeing derail the old directive. So that's kind of cool. We allow ourselves to move into the abundant pool, if you will, moving through this abundance of radiant signatures, gradient reflective light that is actually radiating out from the inner network, if you will. The inner network of delight. So I've said this a lot in what I've written about, and what that is to me is it's a musical note, okay? Gradient, all right? It's shades of light, brighter, with more color, it's more vivid, and I'm hearing more organized. Even though it doesn't necessarily feel like that, I'm seeing that video, that artist, and I've said this before, that's the splatter paint, yet we can see all the colors and we can reorganize them in such a way that we can see more. Now, I know this is kind of a code, but what I'm seeing is this has something to do with the poles and the directional shift that all of us are on. And so we're being pulled. I'm seeing a ship, like we're going to steer the ship now, and it's going to stay at this angle for a while. And by us kind of moving the ship at this angle, it's catching speed. And I see this having to do with Earth and where her alignment is with the sun. And I'm hearing summertime and the living's easy. So this has to do with something happening during the summer, and I'm hearing it's turning up the heat. This is actually a lot, but it's so important to keep us on track. So many of us are feeling like we're walking on this pivot, but what I'm hearing is it's pivotal. It's pivotal for us to create divots. And when I see divots, I see a golf ball. And if you look at a golf ball and all the divots that are on a golf ball, it's meant to keep the golf ball spinning faster. So it's, I'm hearing it's on the upswing. And I'm seeing I just learned a little bit about golf this weekend, but it's where you turn the face up. So there's open face, I guess. And I'm hearing a wedge. So I did a video called The Wedge. If you guys are feeling guided to go back and watch that. I'm seeing the geometries on that video that I did called The Wedge as relevant to what's going on now again. So we're at this angle, and it's a variance degree. It's a varied degree that allows us to hang glide with this, and I'm being shown a hawk, a bird of prey. I watched this really cool hawk, and I can't remember the name of it, but it would just like go through the forest, like at all of these different angles, and it would just move so fast, and that was its gift. So when I see the angle, I'm being shown eyes, like the third eye, and we're looking at things with more light. So it changes the angle. We have to adjust our own lens of perception and perspective, the perspective of where we're headed and where, so that's a whole other play on words. But we're changing this angle of how we look at things, and it's changing our view of the world. But also we're seeing things from a different angle. So if you're standing on the edge of a cliff and you're looking at the cliff from this way, and then if you hang over, right, and you look down, you're gonna see things from a different angle that you couldn't see when you were just standing looking this way. So I'm seeing that has something to do with the Earth. Maybe that means we're gonna see something else in space, or something else is gonna be available to us that we didn't know was there before. But either way, it's changing our directional pull. And so I have to go back and break this down a little bit and play with these words a little bit. But what I'm hearing is it's increasing our library. It's increasing our Akash. It's increasing our range of motion. It's increasing our varied emotions. It's increasing the range of emotions. So one of the things is be aware of where we're being pulled into and help stabilize those emotions, because part of it has to do with us being able to see things, and I'm hearing energy in motion. So this emotional charge is helping us to move past and through some certain things. So this is a multi-dimensional message, by the way, you guys, and I have to run. It's been fun. I'm hearing Run DMC. Lots of playing words, and I'm hearing undercurrent. Run DMC. I'm seeing the AC versus DC. You guys, I could just play with this all day. Maybe I'll go back into this a little bit later. Namaste, you guys. Have fun co-creating and feeling that charge. Letting go of the need to control the dialogue, but recognizing the internal dialogue and not bypassing anything. Just seeing it, acknowledging it, recognizing it, realizing it, and moving through it, or allowing it to move through us, and recognizing that we might feel that we're on this pivot, but this is a pivotal point in our evolution. And so we're just going to have to make our adjustments to stay walking at this angle for a little while. I'm hearing down under, something about Australia, but I'm seeing so much happening, you guys. The last time I had this vision of Australia, well, I've had a lot of visions of that because I'm very in touch with the Aboriginal energies, but it was when lightning hit Uluru. So I'm seeing a big charge hitting the earth in certain areas specifically, and it's going to increase our velocity. Hang on, guys, here we go again. I also saw a snake last night, and I'm hearing white snake, and I'm hearing white lightning. So another current of energy is getting ready to influx and push us in the directional pull shift that we need in order to change our compass and come back into a bigger place of compassion. All right, in love and light, guys. Namaste.